The Institute of International Finance and the IMF recently delivered a stark warning. They have officially downgraded South Africa's growth outlook for 2026. But looking closely at the data reveals a strange contradiction. This downgrade is hitting right, as South Africa's domestic economic fundamentals are actually showing measurable signs of improvement. For decades, an emerging market's sovereign competitiveness relied on a very simple formula: natural resource extraction, low-cost labor, and basic macroeconomic credibility. You dug up raw materials, kept wages low, and the capital flowed in. This disconnect between improving domestic metrics and slashed growth forecasts suggests that the foundational rules for global capital allocation are entering a decisive new phase. The era of predictable shipping corridors and ultra-low-cost financing is effectively over. Today's global economy is defined by rising Middle East conflicts, wild energy volatility, and rapidly regionalizing supply chains. In this highly volatile environment, global investors no longer care if you simply have rich mineral deposits in the ground. They demand proof that your supply chains can maintain operational continuity when external pressure rises. Capital allocation has stopped chasing the absolute lowest labor costs. Instead, it is actively seeking out the highest levels of system resilience during periods of severe instability. Global conflict is forcing a total recalculation of domestic priorities. For emerging economies, building operational resilience is no longer a luxury for the future. It is the absolute baseline requirement to secure foreign investment today. This shifts how we have to look at state spending. Infrastructure can no longer be viewed as a simple domestic governance issue or a red line on a fiscal ledger. It is now a strategic macroeconomic asset class. A nation's sovereign competitiveness is now measured by direct physical output. Investors are watching the daily reliability of the electricity grid, the physical volume moving through freight rail, and the long-term security of water reserves. We can see this new dynamic playing out in real time with Eskom. South Africa has managed to stabilize its massive electricity supply, resulting in extended, unbroken periods without load shedding. That single area of operational delivery, literally keeping the lights on, has already materially improved international perceptions of South Africa's economic trajectory. Solving hard physical bottlenecks provides an immediate outsized multiplier effect on investor confidence. It creates a level of trust that standard monetary policy tweaks simply cannot match. These shifting perceptions are now translating into actual financial flows as global development institutions change their lending criteria to prioritize system resilience. Take the recent $150 million development policy loan awarded to South Africa by the OPEC Fund. As this diagram shows, the mechanism of this loan is highly specific. The $150 million explicitly bypasses the general government treasury. Instead, the capital is tied to structural reforms aimed at easing physical bottlenecks in the grid, the ports, and the rail networks. This model of financing, linking capital directly to the creation of a stable, investable operating environment, will expand rapidly across emerging markets. International capital has stopped simply buying sovereign debt. It is directly underwriting structural modernization and execution speed. We are entering a period of global infrastructure nationalism. This is the primary battleground for the next economic cycle. The choice facing emerging markets is completely binary. Countries that successfully modernize their heavy logistics will capture massive waves of redirected global capital. Those that fail will remain trapped in a low-growth equilibrium. Despite its immediate challenges, South Africa maintains deep capital markets, immense continental logistics relevance, and high institutional banking strength. The country also possesses highly sophisticated industrial capacity. Together, these existing assets provide the foundation to reposition South Africa as the continent's primary capital coordination hub amid global fragmentation. But that potential can only be unlocked through institutional consistency. It requires scaling up the speed of reforms across electricity, rail operations, and digital systems simultaneously. Ultimately, South Africa's growth ceiling is no longer determined primarily by macroeconomic policy. It is increasingly determined by implementation capability, making operational delivery the most valuable national asset of all.